Welcome, everybody. This is the Quick Start class, and this is the brainstorming edition, which is one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, I don't know whether it's yours or not, but it's something that we have to do, whether we're a pantser, whether we're a plotter. Everybody needs brainstorming of some type. It used to be that some of my writer friends and I would go away for a weekend at some resort or hotel or something and plot out maybe a year's worth of books. Of course, without AI, that was many fewer books than we can do now. But we would help each other and brainstorm and point out plot holes and fix plot holes. And we had a real good time. But that was like once a year. So with the AI, you can actually brainstorm day or night. Anytime you want, you can get up in the middle of the night and start talking to one of the AI models. So that's what I like about that. And I usually have conversations and argue with them and chat. But in Sudowrite, there are at least 3 ways to brainstorm. I think there's really 4, and I'm sure we can come up with some others if we think about it. But you probably heard me say that with computers, there's a lot of different ways to do the same thing. And so we're going to go over with and find out what we can do and how we can get the model to brainstorm with us. Oh, yes, I always argue with them, and I will demonstrate that today, I think. I don't talk to it as much as I type. Maybe you talk to it, but I'm usually in a real loud environment, so it doesn't work too well. But for me, that's just me, and I'm a fast typist. I can type faster than I can talk. So I will, and I'm going to turn off my camera because I have been told that sometimes my camera is distracting from what I am showing. So I hope that doesn't bother you too much. I do like to have the camera on as a teacher because I feel that makes it more personal. And I hope it lets people ask questions when they want to, unmute and talk to me. So we'll try that. But right now I am going to turn off my camera and share my screen. This is a follow-on class to the one I did last week, which is it was the overview. And the overview, we came at you with a fire hose, absolutely, because there's so many features and so much it can do. But the Sudowrite team wanted us to get you writing within the first hour. And that's hard to do without going super fast. So today we're going to slow down some, and we will go over these different methods to start with brainstorming. And as you can see, I hope this is my home screen. And I just started a new project, which I guess is project 162. There's nothing in it. I was using it for screenshots for the documentation that I promise I will get out to you later. So I will come into here, and if you see the menu across the top, this is the most obvious way to brainstorm. See, it says brainstorm right here. If you click on brainstorm, it will open up this menu, and it will ask you what you want to brainstorm. And it gives you some preloaded things that you might want to brainstorm. However, I'll tell you a little behind the scenes secret. If we go into dialogue, it does give you an idea about what you could do. This is something a retired postman would say to his wife when his team loses in the Super Bowl. It'll give you some examples. You can add your own examples. And if you look, every one of these boxes is very similar. It has a suggestion. It has examples. You can add an example. But there is nothing magic about what you choose. You can ask for dialogue in the character box. You can ask for plot points in the dialogue box. they all basically do the same thing. They take your information and then they hopefully give you what you want. So that's why usually I use something else. Just because. Let's see. I usually start off with give me premises for, and what genre do we want to play with? How about a legal thriller? Try that one. What'd you say, Nicole? Yeah, you don't have to worry about the pre-filled stuff. So I'm asking for premises for a legal thriller. Just because. I hate start. I could have put in examples. I could have whatever. But and it's thinking. And then it gives me these cards. We have a high-powered lawyer accused of murder, navigate the corrupt justice system to prove their innocence. High-profile lawyer with an unwinnable case. They're all high-profile lawyers, I think, except for the young, ambitious lawyer. Yes, this is not a ChatGPT prompt. It is different from a ChatGPT. Oh, absolutely. You can do it in ChatGPT. And we're going to talk about using ChatGPT in a minute. But yeah, you can. And ChatGPT gives you more room to argue. This one, just you can thumbs up it, thumbs down it. And if you say, I'm going to thumbs up that one, it moves over and I get a new one. If I want to, powerful politician, we're not going to do politicians, so we're going to go down. And it gives me another one. So a lot of times what I do is I look through here. Okay, so we have the unwinnable case. So we have a conspiracy. Okay, and so we have a influential client accused of a heinous crime. So if I put that over there, I might want to combine these, and I can certainly do that. Because I rarely take one idea. I usually combine the ideas. You know how I like to do kit bashing. I even like to do kit bashing with the premises. So however many of these I want, and I can keep going, but remember, you're going to be using credits. Every time you generate, you're going to be using credits. So if I can save and exit, I can start over and it'll wipe it all out. Or I can X out and it'll save it. Yes, Nicole?
Sorry, I'm trying to find the raised hand and I couldn't.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, I just found it.
To.
How good is this brainstorm feature if you want to get a little bit more specific but still need some twist? So for instance, give me premises for a legal thriller where the lawyer committed the crime and has to defend somebody else accused of it.
What we can do this is I don't want to exit, but I do want to save.
The edit button seems to have temporarily disappeared. I reported that the other day.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So in this case, I would save and exit. And then I would come back into Brainstorm. It would be easier if we could edit. Really, truly. But here we could, I know I can't spell committed. Okay, so if that one gave you some ideas, but you wanted to refine it a little more, you could bring this in and go with your new idea and see what it does here. Okay, so here, because we told it most of the premise, it's going to go into more detail. And embezzling funds, embezzle money. Oh, we have got a lot of embezzling lawyers. Okay, we got fraud. We have embezzlement. Now, if it was working up here, I would say give me premises that do not involve embezzlement. But just because that's what it gave us, that's what we will.
But it's a good start. I like that. running for political office and commits fraud, and then could just change up the ending to where somebody else is accused and they have to defend
Sure.
them.
Yeah. Which one is that? Let me see it. Oh, here. Yeah.
That one.
Okay. So if I bring it over here, that will thumbs up it. And I can save and exit. Oops. So if you see, I have all of the ones I saved are over here in my right-hand panel. We have the lawyer running for political office. And then here we have the young, ambitious lawyer, the high-profile lawyer. And here's where we could really twist it around. If I come down here to where the prose lives, and I could turn off my typewriter and make the beat thing go away so I have more prose area. I can do a Control K or a Command K, depending on whether you're on a Mac or a PC. And that gives me quick edit and quick chat. I'm going to go into quick chat because, like whoever it was put the message in, I like to brainstorm with ChatGPT. And one thing you can do from Sudowrite, if you leave the little button on low quality, you can change it to high quality. And that uses credits. But if you're in low quality, it doesn't use credits. So you can talk to it all day if you want to.
And the neat thing about this, y'all, is it's using a model from ChatGPT. So you're essentially using ChatGPT, but say you're in a country where you can't get the subscription. You can use it here without it costing you anything less, and it's less restrictive.
Right. And if you can't get ChatGPT and you do want the higher quality, you can do that you'll be using your Sudowrite credits, but you will have access. So I can insert this. Come on, move. And I can copy it. And then I can say, I'm going to make sure I have it in my buffer, so I'll copy it here. How did you want it changed, Nicole?
Oh, do whatever you'd like. I was just thinking in the end, there's a person being accused of the crime that the lawyer committed, and the lawyer ends up defending that person.
Yeah, isn't that what we have here?
I think so.
He commits fraud, and he's defending. Okay, let's see. Give me more twists.
Ooh, I like what Bear said too in the chat.
What was that? Oh,
You want to copy that to add to the
sure.
prompt?
I do. And
Oh, and Melissa said the person accused is his brother. Y'all are good.
aha. Okay, I got that one copied. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my twist. We can do twists later if we want to. Okay. And then I will put Melissa's in there. And we can see.
Oh, I don't think you actually copied the premise in.
Yeah, I did.
Did you? Oh,
No.
that's in the document, Nicole.
Yep. Okay. Okay, the brother had a falling out years ago over a deeply personal issue. They haven't spoken since. A lawyer torn between duty to defend their brother and unresolved feelings of hurt and betrayal. Conflicts adds a layer of emotional depth and complexity to the story, making the lawyer's dilemma even more compelling. What do we think about the idea?
Too shallow, maybe?
Let's see. Yeah.
Any ideas from the class? Twist this up?
Okay. Let's see.
Jay,
We'll see.
it was over an affair with the brother's wife. That adds a nice little twist.
Oh, yeah. He was overshadowed. Okay. Here we go. Try that. This is more of a Nicole story than a Lynn story. Okay. So this is where, when I say I argue with it, if it gives me something I don't like, or if it drops a point that I really want in there, yeah. I say, that's not exactly what I wanted, or what happened to this plot twist? Okay. Let's see. I say that works. So I'll ask for a synopsis. Okay, yeah. It did usually ChatGPT likes to name things, but it's calling this untitled. Okay, and to answer DB's question earlier, because I don't like. Okay, so we got shadows of betrayal, fraud in family, candidate's dilemma, in the name of justice, broken bond, shattered trust, price of redemption, crossing lines, unforgivable, chasing shadows, a brother's burden. Do any of you like that? Any of those?
I like The Price of Redemption. I would want more like that, I think. And Richard is asking, did the brother defendant engage his lawyer brother? How did they come together?
Huh. Okay, let's finish this one first. Let's say
And somebody else likes chasing
number
shadows.
6. Oh, no. I should title it for us. Okay. And then this tells us how wonderful it is and how smart we are for choosing it. Okay.
In case anybody's ever thinking the AI models are humble, they are not.
Some are more humble than others, but okay. So I'm asking if the brother retained him or how come he's defending him. Huh. It's still looking at untitled. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'd figure. If I was in trouble and my brother was a lawyer, it's probably the one I would go to. Okay. Well, unexpected requests. Yeah, I'll ask for something more twisty. Okay, so he refuses. And the lawyer uncovers a larger conspiracy about who framed the brother. Wait a minute. Okay, here's where we get to argue. Uh, he knows who framed his brother.
Oh, but what if the lawyer didn't frame the brother? He committed the crime, but somebody else knows he committed the crime and framing the brother for whatever reason.
Mhm.
These are the rabbit holes y'all gonna go down. Just wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I like chasing shadows too, because that's what we're doing here. Uh, uh, okay. Okay, I'm going to ask the AI if somebody else framed him. And you notice I'm not using pronouns. I'm explaining the lawyer's brother, even though sometimes it might get tedious. Yes. I don't want to confuse the AI. Huh. Okay. Despite the lawyer framing their brother, I don't think the lawyer did, but another party manipulated it.
Yeah, because then the lawyer would
You
have
think?
to be like twofold, proving his brother's innocence, but also finding out who framed the
Yeah.
brother. supposedly.
Hmm.
Oh, what if they're twins? So they actually do, for whatever reason, think it was that'd be neat, but you'd have to figure out why do they think it's that twin.
Okay. The AI thinks that was a brilliant idea, Nicole.
I'm so smart sometimes.
So that gives us more plot points. Uh,
So can we
okay.
ask the AI for a summary so far? Let's summarize our plot points or something like that.
I was going to ask it. I was going to ask it for a synopsis from here with the new information. Is that okay, or do you want some? You want a summary?
What do y'all think? Ready for the summary?
Eh, Okay, lawyer commits fraud to fund their campaign. Lawyer's identical twin brother is framed for the crime. Lawyer's faced with a moral dilemma. Despite being the one who framed their brother, the lawyer is forced to defend him and realize a third party manipulated the situation to make it seem like the brother was guilty. As the lawyer navigates the legal challenges and moral dilemmas, they must confront their own guilt and conflicting motivations, all the while unraveling a complex web of deception and seeking redemption for their past misdeeds. The bond between the identical twins adds a layer of mystery and intrigue, leading to a high stakes quest for justice and the ultimate price of redemption. Yeah, Richard, I was just thinking that. What happened to the wife, the brother's wife? And that's the kind of thing I do get into the discussion with the AI about, is because it usually drops some of the plot points. Okay, see what it says about that. Oh, so she knows they're committed the crime.
It's one where you
Uh,
could ask for the pros and cons of her knowing and not knowing.
yeah, but it doesn't address their affair at all.
I like the idea of it being the backstory, like it happened before the story opens, and then you just get little pieces of it, about what actually happened throughout the story. And if they're in a small town, she may have even dated the other brother, like back in high school or something. Had that little where they both joined
Probably.
after.
Yeah. Okay, see what it gave us. Pros adds complexity and tension to the relationship, allows internal conflict and moral dilemma for the wife's brother, for the brother's wife, excuse me. Emotional and dramatic scenes. It could overshadow the other aspect of the story, may require additional character development. Okay, if the brother's wife doesn't know, it creates suspense and mystery, provides an opportunity for dramatic revelations and emotional confrontation, fresh, fresh perspective on unfolding events. Oh, we got two. Wait a minute. It answered it twice, didn't it?
It tells you the pros and cons of one way and the pros and cons of the other. Did it do it
Ah,
correctly?
yeah, I think so. Let's see. Oh, yeah, if it does know or if it doesn't know. Okay, doesn't know, lack of emotional depth, careful handling. So I think it probably depends on the kind of story we would want to write. If we want to write one more emotional, relationship based, we'd probably want her to know. If we wanted to focus more on the crime and the deception, then she probably doesn't know. So that would be something, but you could keep tossing things like that back and forth with the AI, and that should help you with that. And of course, I think 3.5, this is the free version, is perfectly fine for brainstorming. If you want to, you can use the other version. If you happen to have a subscription, of course, you can go to either ChatGPT, where your subscription is, or if you have a Claude subscription, and talk to it over there. Now, the bad thing about this is when I click this little X, it's all going to go away. And they're working on that. But so for now, whatever you want to keep, you need to copy. So I'm going to say, please give me a synopsis. Or the story with the wife knowing about the deception. Because I write more character-driven stories than plot-driven stories. Okay. So what I would do here is I would copy it and save it to a document. And I would call this synopsis. Okay, but if you notice in that blank document where I was working, everything's gone. That entire chat's gone. So make sure you save anything that you want to keep. John, you're liking Gemini. Yeah, Gemini can be pretty good. I've used it for prose generation here in Sudowrite and in some other tools. Okay, so what I would do, and this would get into other classes, is I would probably take this synopsis and stick it in Story Bible in the brain dump and then flesh it out. That's how I would carry on the story. Now, if I'm going to quickly jump over there and do this just because this is going to get back into that overview fire hose again. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put legal thriller. I'm going to leave the style blank for now. I'm going to stick the synopsis in. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. I put the synopsis in the brain dump. So I am going to generate the synopsis. Okay, we got Michael and Sarah and Jack. How's that for AI names? Oh, Liam Granger, that's, I think, a new one, isn't it? Or is it? Okay, I don't think that's a bad synopsis. So let's hit generate all characters, let it fill out the characters. The reason I'm doing this is I want to get down to some prose, and I'll show you the other way or one of the other ways. I still have 2 ways to go. Okay, so we got Callahan. We got Michael. Which one's the lawyer? And then we got Sarah. Uh, Lynn, Thomas Whitaker. Okay. Oh, we got quite a cast of characters here. And that's okay. I don't care. Let's generate an outline. Okay. In real life, the first chapter is just an introduction. The inciting incident's the second chapter, and we don't really get to any action until the third chapter. So in real life, I would combine those or edit them and munch them around. But and
Since it's a thriller too, wouldn't you say in that first chapter to not have the reader know that the lawyer committed the crime?
I definitely would.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we get down here. Okay. I'm just for the sake of showing you how the other method can work, or another way to brainstorm when you're actually in the prose phase. I'm going to start chapter 1. Even though I wouldn't start chapter 1 where it wanted to start chapter 1. Okay, so we have the beats. I'll let it generate the beats. I think you'd have to hide it from the AI because the AI likes to reveal everything it knows. So if you're going to keep a secret from the reader, you probably need to keep a secret from the AI. So I would probably start with the lawyer defending his brother, and I wouldn't bring in that the lawyer did it until further down. Even though the lawyer knows he did it, but the brother doesn't. Okay. So what I want to do here and of course, if I were really working, I would do other things than ending on a cliffhanger. I'd put in my normal header. For this, all I want's a cliffhanger. And let's see. Let's try 4.0 mini just because. And let's generate the chapter. Chapter 7? Or did it get chapter 7? That's chapter 1, right? That's chapter 1. Chapter 1's linked. Okay, I'll put in a bug report on that in a bit. Okay, so we're getting a lot of telling and all that, and I would take care of that in my header. Didn't pay attention to how many beats we had. I can stick some in chat. About every class I do, I show you mine are not really super extensive. But yeah, I'm using 4.0 mini for this one, Bear. Oh, got a gunshot ringing out. Now, I would think that would be a pretty good place to stop the chapter. So let's see if their cliffhanger. It could be a little do they know kind of thing. Oh, okay. Gunfire in the alley. Mm, Jack standing over a body. Oh, I didn't realize this was a murder thriller. Okay, so what I would do, because this is just more foreshadowing things, I think I would end it there and I would end the chapter right there. But because I need an idea about where this is going, I could either use write or rewrite. If I used write, it would probably just continue. Let's try write. And we'll see what happens here. It should give me an idea about what should come next. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that gives us a couple of ideas about what we could do. But one of my favorites to do is to come down here and get guided right. And I'm going to start, I know I'm going to start the next scene, but Sudowrite doesn't know that. So I'm going to say, okay, so I can't. Okay, so I'm just going to say continue it. I picked this up when I was doing a book that I kept asking for cliffhangers, and Sudowrite didn't really break cliffhangers, but I had no idea what it was thinking and where it was going to go after that. So I went back and I would get guided right to show me how to do that.
Have you ever tried to ask Guided Right to give you two versions of how the rest of the scene can unfold?
I haven't, but we can certainly do that. Let's see, did it finish this? So if I click on guided right, because I have multiple cards, it's basically doing that anyway. And if you notice, they're calling these chiclets, but they're talking about what it looks at. And it's looking at the summary, the genre, and the characters. So, okay, here we got version 1.
I'll say it's definitely got a version 1.
Yeah. Okay, here's a deeper point of view, which I like, which we hadn't had it before. Uh, Now he's got a knife, not a gun. And then here's version 2. Version 2 is okay. And then here's another card because they had multiple cards set. The version 1.
That's neat that it was able to do that, though.
It is. Version 2 is extremely short in both cases. But since we have 2 version 1s, we actually have what I'd call 2 different versions of it. So that's another way you can brainstorm is with guided right, or just use regular right if you want it to finish off the scene. And the last way, we need a new document for this. Got to be a blank document. And because we have a blank document, we can go hunting for our friend First Draft. which is going to be at the bottom of plugins. We keep talking about it shouldn't be there, but it's still there. Okay. So what we can do, and sometimes this used to work really well, and now it doesn't. It always wants to give you pros. But let's test it and see if they fixed any of it. So we can just ask, once again, the AI can't count. So if I ask for 10, who knows how many I'm going to get? Yeah, see, an unspecified error has occurred. But what I can do is if I put it in here, let's see if I put our whole synopsis in, what's going to happen. Or I could put in some of our brainstorming ideas and let it do the thing. Okay, so see, it's going to start with actually writing the prose itself. And it didn't used to do, it used to do outlines for you. It used to do premises for you. I don't know what changed. But maybe because we got quick chat now instead. But you could let First Draft do a scene for you, and then you could use the write, the rewrite, whatever to figure out how you want it to go after that. I don't know. Okay, so Michael became Dave because First Draft's not looking at any of our Story Bible stuff or, yeah. And I think Jack became John, but Sarah is always Sarah. And Dave's already in prison. Okay. John had framed you. Oh, it's going to tell us the whole story right here. Okay. Thanks for playing, but no thank you. So now he's confessing to Sarah. Okay. No matter the cost. I still have to write a book title, no matter the cost, because that's something like crazy about. But those are 4 ways that you can use Sudowrite to brainstorm with. Anybody have any questions about that? And while you're thinking about that, I will go grab a header, my normal header. Yeah, probably. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, I turned my beats off. Let me turn my beats back on. And I will stick it in the. I usually start with something like this because I do write third person, past tense. And then I tell it which character I want. And I tell it to avoid telling, show using action, avoid dialogue tags. And generally, I put end on a cliffhanger if that's what I want, if that's the kind of story I'm writing. If the AI is misbehaving and it's doing something else I don't want, I'll stick that in the header too. I think lately it hasn't been doing varied sentence structure. It's been sentences all have the same syntax. So I would stick that in there too. The prose generator does look at Story Bible and it does know all the characters' traits. It's just First Draft doesn't know much of anything.
Miss Lynn, can you see how many credits that 4.0 mini run cost you?
I sure can. Come on. Oh, I have to. That box doesn't scroll for some reason. Okay, so the generated prose is 2251.
Nice.
The auto write was 1,050. The guided write was 1,032. On the first go around, the second go around, it was 1882.
Stacy was wanting to know if it behaved.
Did it behave? Okay.
So I guess for your prose, it looked good on the prose that I was able to read.
Let's look at it and see. I'm not wild about the writing style, of course, because, as I said, I didn't. Let's look at chapter 1. Let me make my screen big for you again, since I had to. Come on, chapter 1. I want chapter 1. Give it to me. Okay. Okay, we're starting in the courtroom, so that's okay. Voice rang through the packed courtroom, reverberating its polished mahogany walls like a battle cry. There's the center of attention, poised and yielding, piercing blue eyes scanning the jury. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the weight of the moment occurring your place today, you have the power to define justice, not just for my client, but for every single person who's been wronged. Okay. It's not terrible. We got the sunlight. We're describing him a little bit, but that's okay. Imagine, if you will, the injustice, the betrayal of the system. Okay. Yeah. I've heard worse opening arguments, tell you the truth. Uh, Oh, so now he's thinking about how that's gonna work out for him and his PR campaign. Okay, I guess that's a closing argument, not an opening argument, but it works. Uh, So what do you think, Stacy?
Yeah, I think it looks good. Let's tell her it was normal here.
Yeah, we have Max. That's a new one. He may have been in that long list of characters that I didn't vet. Okay. But yeah, it was a closing argument. Okay, need to talk. It's urgent. Huh? That wouldn't fly. Can't call a witness after the jury's out. Yeah. We'd have to fix that. But then, okay, we're in a bar. Yeah, I'm not saying these are terrible words, not at all. What do y'all think? Okay, so I'm seeing some differences in the personality of the brothers. That's good. And we got the morning sun again, but it's not telling time with it, so it's not. That's not a bad metaphor, actually. Uh, good. Yeah. Yeah, we've got a little bit of intrigue in here. Take that. Okay. Yeah, we're getting the hint that they're identical twins. Yeah, we see that they're different, have different moral compasses. I mean, did you notice we got almost 5,000 words in this chapter?
That's really good for the 2,000 credits.
Yeah, really. I'll take it. I don't see that being horrible. Because it did start with the action of the courtroom. It's coming with character development now. As I said, I didn't bet the beats at all. We shifted scenes here. Back to Michael's kitchen, maybe. Yeah, come down. We'll see what happens. Okay, and then somehow we get. I didn't read enough to figure out how we got in the alley with the gun. Let's see. Yeah, 4.0 Mini's not really a bad model, and it's very inexpensive. So if you want to play around and try some things, that is definitely one way to do it. Any more questions you want on the recording? If not, then I will close the recording and we can take questions that you don't want on the recording.
Chat's clear.
Okay, thank you all for joining us. This has been the brainstorming session of the Quick Start module.